Update on the cat training toy. The only problem I've got with this is the fact that this button is very easy to push, whether you want to or not. Okay. It did have a little clip on there. It's literally a half circle clip that fit us over there, so you don't push it by accident. Except, of course, it's really small, transparent, and has now disappeared. Now I don't know where it's gone. I've looked around, but let's face it, it's something that small. The odds of me finding it are fucking astronomical. So what I'm going to do is just improvise for the time being. See what crap I've got lying around. Where's my knife? There we go. Right, so first thing I'm going to do is just modify this twig a little bit. All I'm doing is putting a little hook in the end of it, so that this solid syringe, I can hopefully, yep, just hook out the crap that's in there. It's literally just an old plastic syringe, but it's the right size for this to pop inside. And that way I can just improvise something, just so I'm not going to push the bloody button by accident. Two reasons: I don't want to drain the battery, also I don't want to blind myself. So I got that. Fit over as well. This is what the cutlery came in. I've thrown most of it away. But yeah, basically that's just a quick improvisation. I'm going to have a look, see if I can find a sheath or something. See, a fabric thing's no good because a fabric is still going to push it. So it needs to have something like, well, this syringe, basically. That's actually doing a pretty good job. And it's kind of, it's lightweight, it's strong, it's just the right size. Yes, on it. What I might do is try and get something to wrap around to keep it in place. So, yeah, I do actually have also on order another lens to go on here. It may work, it may not. It's very powerful as it is. I've not tried to set fire to anything. I'm not that bothered. But I've got a lens on order that should hopefully focus it some more. When I get it, I don't know. But yeah, it's an old syringe that I cut bits off to do my experiments with. But that's basically just a plastic tube, just so I don't push the button by accident. What I might do actually, if I drill like a hole in there, I could then put like a bit of string through there that I can just hook this onto, just to keep it together. So it does, yeah, I'll go with that in a sec. Right. Oh, I know what I can use. My vice. I've not used this thing yet. It's one of those things where you buy it in case you want to use it at some point. But I've not actually used it. So, on my antique desk. There we go. I mean, I could put actually a bit of junk mail. Junk mail is always handy. It's less chance of it damaging the wood. Perfect. See, if we do it too tight, it'll break the plastic. And if I put something inside, that'll stop it getting broken, or reduce the chance of it getting broken. Do I have anything? Ooh, that fit. Add it. It's just something to go inside there to, so you're tightening on that, not that. There we go. Just to keep it in position. Right. And a load shoelace. That's what I'm using really. It's amazing, that little thing, like just having that little vice. I don't remember how much it was. It was pretty cheap. But something like that makes a massive difference. Rather than trying to hold things and if you've got like damaged your nerves and tendons like I have, gripping small things can be very, very detrimental. Nothing fancy, just a quick knot. Hangman's noose, as we call it. I mean, yes, I could grind it up and make it shiny and pretty, but I'm more concerned with function than form. Right, so that's on there. Go in here. I want to have it so it's not going to fall out, so... I just thought, it's got a little snap hook. See, these little hook things came with it, these things. I don't like them because they're very weak, but and fiddly, if you've got little fingers, they've got big fingers. So yeah. Another little knot on there, and that can just go in. There you go. Right, so we've now got that. Tighten up a bit more, actually. So I don't want it so tight that I can't actually get access to it. So that it won't fall out on its own. What I could do, put it down lower. Right. Another idea. Can I do this without having to put it back in the vise? It's a lot more awkward when it's not in the vise, but still. This is just as a temporary measure, because I do like to carry it with me when I go camping. It was still on, mind you, I didn't actually check. It may have come off inside the tent, or at some point whilst I was out camping. So I've got no way of knowing. So that's a temporary measure. Put it through there, tie a knot on it. Yeah, I'll secure that somehow. It's literally just to stop me pushing a button by accident. I mean, actually, I just don't want lots and lots of little fiddly bits carrying with me. So that's just temporary, just temporary. I wonder if I got like a little hard case bag, something similar to like a phone case, but smaller. I was thinking about using, I think I threw them all out, bollocks. The extra strong mint sized tube you use for those Plunk Plunk Fizz vitamin C tablets. Something like that would be pretty good. It might be a little bit too long, but I can always like use it to carry other things. Let's try and find something like that. Right. Because I'm thinking right now about using that little bit of plastic I had left over, if that would fit. If that goes in there, and put that on top. That'll be too weak. Oh no, it fits. Okie. Don't say use a condom. Do you know how much these bloody things cost? So, yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, rubber band. Just to keep it on. Just keep it in place. It's literally just so when I'm carrying it in my pocket, I'm not going to be pushing a button by accident. So, yeah, I'm going to go online and have a look if there's anything actual I can buy that would do the same job. Basically the same as that. Little carry case for it. Because that sort of stuff on AliExpress, it's only about £1 normally, or less. And if you're paying £8, you get it free delivery. Or if you buy more than 2 or 3 things with a bundle deals, you get discount as well. What the hell is that for? Oh, more rubbish. So yeah, that's the issue with that thing, is that the safety feature disappeared. Aliens! Well, I found stuff. It's a case of, yeah, it's free shipping over £8. There's plenty of things I want to buy, so that's not an issue. So it's like 97p, and this is, my issue is that it's too big. It's basically for holding a pen, or several pens, but it would do the job. It's just the torch itself is 1 centimeter by 10, and these things are all fountain pen sized. So you're talking 15 centimeters by 4, a lot of them. So that's a good example, and it's £1.50. But I'd rather have something solid. That's why I'm still looking. I mean, I keep thinking back to that bloody tube that was vitamin tamped. It's like, I don't do vitamins very much, not really. But that is kind of the ideal thing. I've actually seen it for sale on here, but like £10 for a plastic tube. No, most of the stuff they sell is pretty cheap. If I can do a plastic tube search. This is the kind of tube I'm talking about, except that's going to be a little bit too big. I don't want it rattling around, because that's how big the thing is. But then I was thinking, if you have a better knowledge of words, it can make things a bit simpler when you're searching. For example, I just typed in test tube, because that is basically what I want, is a test tube. But hopefully something a bit more plastic, not quite as bristle as a test tube. First thing to do after my search is click on free shipping. Because sometimes what you'll get is, it's only 10p, but it's £1,000 to ship it to your address. That, slight exaggeration, but not a lot. Sometimes you will get that, something that's very cheap, but it'll cost you £100 delivery. So that gives you a bit more realistic prices. Also, listing by price doesn't always work. But there's that one. 78p, free shipping. It's pretty much what I want, but it's the size. That's the thing. Sometimes if you scroll on the sidebar, you'll get sizes. Not always. Sometimes. There's no size there. You can get it in the description if you go down lower. Sometimes the reviewers will actually tell you. Nice thing about the reviews is that it's by people that have actually bought stuff, not just, made up views and reviews that you get from a lot of places. Like Trustpilot is a complete scam. A 100% scam. First of all, you've got to actually let them install software on your phone before you can even, okay, it's 40 milliliters. I'm not quite sure how big that would be, that's the thing. I mean, what I need is the actual size in millimeters, centimeters, not milliliters. I mean, yeah, that would be the thing. It's just the size, give me the size. Nope, no sizes. Bollocks. So the only way I can actually gauge the actual size of it is if they were to have something in there that I know the size of, and they're not showing it. They're just showing like beads, which could be any size. Beans could be any size. I've got syringes. I could use a syringe, fill it with 40 milliliters of water, and see how much space that takes up. I mean, it really is a case of, for 78p, 78 pence, I would take a gamble and buy one for 78p. And it's a case of, I would find a use for it. There are plenty of things I could use that for. Not my ass. Hemorrhoids, no chance. But I could use it for other things. Like I could use it for fermenting yeast. I could use it for lots of stuff. Carrying milk powder. So that's a temptation. But, right, we'll list it by orders. Sometimes that works, listing it by orders, sometimes not. In this case, not, because I'm not spending that much money. So, by price. By price does not always work. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. This time it seems to be working. I'm assuming sometimes they have sponsored stuff, so therefore it only does a certain amount. See, that's exactly the same. Right, another thing you can do with AliExpress is if you hover over it, you'll get options come up down here. One is see preview, that's just looking at it, and the other one is similar items. Sometimes you'll get another option which is best price on that item, which is lots and lots of other people selling it, but at different prices. So similar items. But this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be free delivery. It's popular. Nope. I'm looking for something less than £1. And nothing. Interesting that all the similar items do not include the one I looked at. Interesting that. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is buy that. And if it's probably going to be too small. But even if it is too small, I can always find another use. It is a pain that there's no size on there. A lot of the time they do actually show dimensions, that they will show the sizes. But I could use it for something like wild garlic, not wild garlic, garlic powder. Because garlic powder is very, very absorbent and it turns into a brick very quickly. So I like garlic. So what I might do is get one of those, and if I don't use it for anything else, I could always just use it for garlic powder. That is a temptation, except it's nearly full. I used to have loads of these, and they've all gone. Aliens!